Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. Allincrypto here, and today, as we haven't spoken about Chainlink yet in 2024, that is exactly what we are going to be doing. We're going to be doing two things in this video. First of all, I really want to sort of outline the importance and significance of Chainlink and why I think it is such a big deal. So that's what we're going to be doing at the start of the video. And then we are going to be going over to the charts and perhaps giving an outlook of where Chainlink may be heading in 2024. And I promise that you guys, certainly if you do hold Chainlink like I do, to be totally transparent, will like what we have for you, providing that we hold relative support. So we're going to be getting into all of that. Like I said, we're really going to be starting the video off outlining why Chainlink is so important. Now, Chainlink was a perfect example of applying distributed ledger technology to another use case outside of what Bitcoin perhaps is looking to do with the decentralization of money and offering an alternative store of value that leverages distributed ledger technology. So I'm a big believer, and this is why I think Bitcoin maxis are wrong, that actually the application of a global decentralized ledger is far and wide. It's a very broad technology that can cover many, many industries and fundamentally change and enhance them. So what Chainlink essentially has done is it has came up with a way to decentralize data in a secure manner. And this is the whole concept behind Chainlink. Chainlink is, for all intensive purposes, an Oracle solution. And what that means is it essentially provides data in a reliable way, leveraging distributed ledger technology to whatever application it is needed for. So this is huge. We've seen real traction in regards to Chainlink with their CCIP, looking at the traditional kind of banking world. We know they've partnered with Swift, or I should say the traditional sort of financial world. It's far more than just banking. It incorporates and encapsulates many, many things. But ultimately, Chainlink is very unique in the sense that it is already being adopted by the likes of Swift and some of the largest banks in the world, obviously with CCIP. And it's also the most dominant oracle within the crypto space. In fact, it is really the enabler of DeFi and many of the things that we do natively within the crypto space. So Chainlink is in a perfect position to essentially set an interoperability standard for the entire Web3 and cryptocurrency space. And this is absolutely huge. If I ask you what the internet is, a lot of people don't know, but the people that do know will essentially say that it is a combination of both software and hardware, and essentially protocols, standardized protocols, TCP and IP and things like this, essentially, and Linux were adopted to become the standards, or certainly the dominant standards that essentially facilitate the internet and the kind of coordination perhaps of it, or the connectivity of it. Chainlink is essentially that to the Web3 world, in my opinion, with the likes of CCIP and a number of other things. And I think Sergey, the CEO and certainly co-founder of Chainlink, can put this point across far better than I can. So what I want to do, guys, is I want to go over to a video that essentially was published on the 1st of January via Chainlink, or put on Chainlink's official YouTube channel and of course their Twitter, where Sergey actually talks about what's happening right now and the role that Chainlink is going to play. So we're going to go ahead and play that clip, and then we are going to be diving into the charts. So let's go ahead and play the clip.
And so I think what you're going to see from Chainlink is a big involvement in TradFi, because all of these features are highly in demand there, and Chainlink's the only platform that provides them all in one place. There's really no platform right now where you can go get highly reliable market data, highly reliable connectivity to other chains, highly reliable compute to create privacy and other properties that you don't get from the chain you're using. So this platform is really culminating into a kind of state of readiness that's very attractive to capital markets and TradFi, which is why so many of the top players, they're the top banks, the top asset managers, the top CSDs, the top market infrastructures, the top messaging systems, are all actively in conversations with us and are moving forward in their work together with us. I think at the same time, you have the Web3 world, which is highly defined by DeFi, now some more GameFi, blockchain gaming generally. And there you will see other use cases. Eventually, though, whether that's this coming year or the year after, I think you will see both of these worlds interacting. I think you will see both of them interacting with each other using Chainlink data, Chainlink computations, Chainlink connectivity, cross-chain connectivity. And that is the truly exciting thing, in my opinion, because then you allow the world to create a single internet of contracts composed of multiple chains, multiple Oracle networks, multiple existing payment systems, multiple existing data systems. But the value of the world now moves into this internet of contracts. And this is really what Chainlink is doing. It's creating this set of standards that are going to be universal, that we're working to make universal across capital markets, TradFi, Web3, Web2, all of these places. Right now, they're being individually adopted, separately adopted in these two worlds, these two parallel worlds. There's the Web3 world, the DeFi world, the GameFi world, the public blockchain world. Then there's the TradFi, capital markets, asset management world. But if both of them apply the same methodology for defining price, then when they go to transact with each other, they'll already be having the same assumptions about how to settle with price. If they both adopt the same cross-chain connectivity standard, then when they go to connect to each other, they will be able to connect efficiently without any additional work. When they both adopt the same off-chain trust minimized computing standards, then when they look at each other's contracts, they'll see that not only are the contracts secure, but the automation systems and the function systems and the other systems that basically manage and secure the contract also meet their respective versions of security. And so having a standard that's relied on in Web3 and having the same standard relied on in capital markets actually sets the world up for this place where they can very efficiently transact with each other over those standards. And so that's really what I think is happening in the coming year. We're continuing to be the global standard for data, various compute properties of Oracle networks, expanding the ability to do cross-chain connectivity as a standard. And we're becoming the standard for cross-chain connectivity, data, compute in the capital markets, so that both of these places function on the same standard. And as they function on the same standard, that reduces the friction for them to transact, which is actually net beneficial for everyone. It's net beneficial for the public chains. It's net beneficial for the private chains. It's net beneficial for the DeFi protocols because they get access to more capital. It's net beneficial for the capital markets and TradFi participants because they get access to more markets and more protocols with more yield and more diversification. It's more beneficial for the RWA world because now those RWAs get larger markets and larger liquidity and larger pools of capital that they can be purchased from and used in. And so I think it's really net beneficial to have a single global set of standards. And if you think about it, this is actually how the internet works. The internet works on TCP/IP. The largest server technology is still Linux. There are these open source standards. And those open source standards allow there to be a single, efficient, global internet where everyone benefits when a new node, a new data provider, a new bank, a new whoever joins that internet. And that's what we want for the Internet of Contracts. We need a single set of global standards that everyone uses to transact with each other across chains, across different jurisdictions, across different CSD and legal frameworks, across different data assumptions. And that is what Chainlink is now in the process of defining, not only for the Web3 world, but for the larger capital markets TradFi world, which once again, our goal is to merge. So we want to merge these two worlds, and they will merge because they're fundamentally engaging in the same economic activity under different names. It's just nomenclature. It's just different semantics about a DeFi thing or a DLT, digital asset thing. That they're all just financial assets that focus on transactions and transactional volume and liquidity and counterparty risk. So this is the set of standards we're making to manage all that complexity and allow this Internet of Contracts to come into existence. I think 2024 should be a very exciting year with a lot of progress based on the willingness and the capital put towards creating all these applications.
I mean, this is huge. And Chainlink, again, is very well positioned to actually combine these worlds and set a standard for how Web3 essentially is facilitated and merges with the traditional financial world. You know, Chainlink for me is a staple cryptocurrency. It's something, to be totally transparent, that I've been investing in since 2018. I have all of the receipts. Everything that we say on this channel, guys, is backed up factually. We don't try and sell you guys a pipe dream. And I really see huge potential for Chainlink. What I want to do now, guys, is actually go over to the charts and just take a little bit of a look at where Chainlink is and potentially where it may be heading. So let's kick off from where we left off in regards to the range that we were in, where we now are, and is there anything that we can look at that could indicate that we are setting up for further continuation. So as always, let's flip the chart to log. We don't like to use non-log charts unless we're trading on a smaller time frame. Chainlink essentially was in a range for nearly 500 and something days. It was a very, very range-bound environment. I've seen people draw this range in many different ways. Just for the sake of this video, we're going to very quickly draw it something like this. And we'll only take the range till the point of breakout. Let's put the volume on. You know, the breakout here was on volume, which is a very confirming factor. We would define this as a stage 1 base, and we are now in a stage 2 ascent, i.e. an uptrend. So Chainlink has taken a bit of a rest here. Some people were kind of drawing this as kind of a bottoming structure that they could project upwards from. We'll do that with you very quickly. You know, if you take the lower of the range to the higher of the range, and then you project it from where we broke out, you can see it coincides pretty perfectly with where Chainlink took a break. But really, I think one of the questions that most people ask me is, what comes next for Chainlink? So we do believe that Chainlink is now in an uptrend. Right now where we are, is there any kind of pattern potentially at play that could project further upside? Well, we are going to look at the level that Chainlink ran into, which is a very key and historic level of significance that potentially could set Chainlink up for an inverse head and shoulders, a kind of macro inverse head and shoulders. Now, this could take a while to play out, ladies and gentlemen, but this kind of has confluence to the broader direction that we ultimately think Chainlink is going in. So I'll draw this very quickly. I'll try and speed it up a little bit. So this is essentially the sort of structure that I think you could now be forming for Chainlink that is going to give us a potential upside target, providing that it can take the sort of $19 mark, probably around about the 60 sort of dollar range. So new all-time highs. Is that going to come in 2024? Well, potentially. Ultimately, if you want to figure out how long a pattern's got to play out, a good indication would be, does the pattern, you can essentially give the pattern the time to play out that it's taken to form. So this could potentially take place within inside 2024, potentially take a little bit longer. So how we're going to project the upside target, of course, with an inverse head and shoulders, is we're going to take the low of the head, and then we're going to add that to the point of break, the neckline. And that's essentially going to be predicting around about a $63, $64 price prediction for Chainlink. So if we've got the general trend of the market right, the cryptocurrency market, which we believe is now in an uptrend, there's a good likelihood that Chainlink may, we already know that it's broken out and it's now in an uptrend, be following some sort of a blueprint and a roadmap like the one we have in front of you today, which could see Chainlink again gets around about that $64 mark, which would be a new all-time high. And I'm sure as Link holders, we'd all be rather happy about that. And actually, you know, a lot of people sort of doubt head and shoulders. They often view it the right way up. But one thing that we like to do is actually invert our charts, you know, and you can see the head and shoulder becomes a lot more obvious here. So all that being said, you know, technically Chainlink looks fantastic. And also fundamentally, Chainlink is just such an important piece of the entire cryptocurrency space and the facilitation of an actual Web3 with standardized protocols that will enable it to be a Web3, an interactive Web3 in the same way that we have Web2. So that's really all I've got for you guys. If you've enjoyed this content, like is always appreciated. So as a comment, if you were a fan of Chainlink, don't forget to become a subscriber of the channel because we'll be dropping content just like this on a regular basis. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all in the next YouTube video.